What if I told you that you could build and launch a working app, like right now, with nothing more than an idea you have in your head? Today, we are diving deep into this totally revolutionary way of making software, and it's all powered by a free AI tool that is completely changing the game. Let's get right into it.
Just let that quote sink in. That's from Logan Kilpatrick at Google DeepMind. 90 seconds. The entire gap between that creative spark in your brain and a real, working product, it's collapsed from months or even years down to just minutes. And no, this is not science fiction. It is happening right now.
And this whole new reality? It actually has a name: vibe coding. It's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. You build software just by describing the vibe or the function you're going for. The cost to try something out to build that first version, it's basically dropped to zero. So the biggest thing holding you back isn't your coding skill anymore, it's just what you can dream up.
So what's the engine behind all this magic? Well, it's a tool called Google AI Studio. The best way to think of it is like your own personal AI lab that you can get to right from your web browser. It's all designed to let you build and prototype stuff really fast, without getting stuck in a bunch of complicated code. What's really key here is how accessible it is. AI Studio is built for pretty much everyone, not just expert developers or coding wizards. So whether you're a product manager, a small business owner, or really just anyone with a cool idea, this is your way into building with some of the most advanced AI on the planet. The horsepower behind AI Studio comes from Google's Gemini models, and you really have to pay attention to that context window for Gemini 1.5 Pro. 1 million tokens. That's insane. Think of tokens as the AI's short-term memory, like how many words or concepts it can hold in its head at once. With 1 million tokens, you can feed it an entire movie script, hundreds of pages of documents, or a massive code base, and it can understand all of it at the same time. This is an absolute game changer.
But here's the thing, AI Studio is so much more than just an app builder. Seriously, it's like a full-on creative partner that can handle a wild variety of tasks. We're talking generating images, video, even analyzing hours of footage in seconds.
So you can give it a super descriptive prompt, just like this one, and bam, you get back this incredible high-res image. It's almost like having a professional artist just on call, ready to bring whatever's in your head to life, instantly.
And check this out. It gets even crazier. It can create videos. It uses Google's VO model, so you can turn a simple, kind of cute idea into a short video clip. The level of detail and realism it can pull off from just a handful of words is, well, it's pretty breathtaking.
And the list just keeps on going. If you're a content creator, this is just a massive time saver. Imagine uploading a long video and the AI just automatically pulls out the best moments, generates all the timestamps, and writes a perfect summary. The hours of boring work this saves is just incredible.
Okay, so all that creative stuff is awesome, right? But now let's get to the main event, the most revolutionary feature of all, creating entire functional applications with a single prompt. This is the heart of vibe coding. This is where your words become working software.
It really is this simple. You describe what you want, almost like you're just talking to a developer. Then the AI gets to work. It writes the front end, the back end, all the code it needs, and it stitches it all together. And a few moments later, you get a link to a live app you can actually share and start testing.
Here's a perfect real-world example. With this one sentence, AI Studio built a working website. People could go to it, type in their business details, and it would generate customized legal text for them. A whole useful tool, created from just one idea.
Or what about something way more complex? This prompt right here creates an interactive AI voice agent for a website. It doesn't just build a flat, boring page, it builds a dynamic, conversational experience that can actually talk to users in real time. The potential for businesses here is just enormous.
This number is just mind-blowing. On the very first day a new model came out, users built tens of thousands of apps. Just think about that for a second. It shows you the sheer scale and the incredible speed of creation that's possible now. The barrier to entry isn't just lowered, it's been completely demolished.
All right, now, as incredible as all this sounds, we have to pump the brakes for a second and get real. This technology is powerful for sure, but it is far from perfect. It has some major limitations, and honestly, it can fail in some really frustrating and sometimes pretty serious ways. This quote from a user on Reddit just nails it. The AI isn't really thinking or understanding your problem. It's an unbelievably sophisticated pattern matching machine. It's just mimicking intelligence based on all the data it was trained on. So remember, you are always the one in the driver's seat.
And this analogy, this might be the best one I've ever heard. An AI is like a senior dev with dementia. It has this huge wealth of knowledge, right? But it can be forgetful. It gets confused. It just makes stuff up sometimes, and it needs you to constantly guide it. It's an incredibly powerful assistant, but it is not a replacement for a human architect who actually understands the foundation of the project.
And here are some of the real-world frustrations people run into. For example, users have seen the AI just get stuck in a loop, trying to fix the same broken code over and over again without getting anywhere. Or it'll hallucinate code that looks right but just doesn't work. Even worse, sometimes it can misunderstand what you want and straight up delete or overwrite your files. So the main thing to know is that vibe coding isn't a magic trick. It's a process, and it takes patience and a lot of debugging.
And this timeline shows a very real, very serious example of the dangers of AI hallucinations. When someone prompted the Gemma model about a US senator, it just made up some very serious and damaging accusations. This wasn't some harmless little bug. It had real consequences. It actually led Google to pull the model from AI Studio entirely. It's a huge reminder that you can't always trust what comes out of these things.
So, after seeing the incredible promise and, the very real problems, what's the big takeaway here? Well, we are absolutely in a new era, but it's one that requires a totally new way of thinking about how we create things.
This is the new reality. You can afford to fail 50 times to find that one big success, because the only cost is your time. The most important skill isn't writing perfect code anymore. It's being persistent, tweaking your prompts, and fixing the AI's mistakes. Your unique experience, your insight into a problem, that's your real advantage. And like Logan Kilpatrick said, you might just be 10 prompts away from a home run.
At the end of the day, this technology basically puts the power of an entire software development studio into the hands of anyone with an internet connection. It's democratizing creation on a scale we have just never seen before. The only question left is, what are you going to build with it?